The years after the battle with the Volturi had been strangely calm for the Cullen family, almost too calm. Forks had remained the same misty, quiet town, wrapped in endless rain and forest shadows, but within the Cullen house there was a subtle shift. Renesmee, no longer the tiny child Jacob had once carried protectively, was now nearing maturity at a pace that astonished even her family. At just 7 years old she appeared closer to 17, with a striking beauty that seemed to blend Bella's soft warmth with Edward's immortal perfection. Her bronze curls glowed in the dim light, and her amber-brown eyes carried wisdom far older than her years. Renesmee often walked along the riverbanks, Jacob by her side, his presence constant, his loyalty unquestioned. He had promised himself that he would always guard her, always love her in whatever form she needed. But lately there was a quiet tension between them. Renesmee was beginning to understand what imprinting truly meant, and Jacob feared the day she might reject him, even though destiny had tied them together. One evening, as the rain drummed softly on the glass walls of the Cullen house, Carlyle gathered everyone in the living room. His face was calm, but his voice carried a weight that silenced even Emmett's usual restlessness. He had received word from old contacts in Europe, rumors that the Volturi were stirring again. The defeat at the clearing years ago had not been forgotten, and whispers suggested that Arrow's thirst for power was far from quenched. Bella felt her heart tighten, though it no longer beat. She remembered the standoff vividly, the fear of losing Edward, of losing Renesmee. She had sworn then that she would never allow her daughter to be taken. Edward, reading her thoughts, squeezed her hand gently, his cool fingers offering silent reassurance. "We knew this peace couldn't last forever," Edward murmured. Renesmee, sitting nearby, lifted her chin. "If they come, we'll face them again. But this time, I'll stand with you. I'm not a child anymore." Her voice was steady, but Bella flinched, torn between pride and dread. The following weeks passed with uneasy quiet. Jacob patrolled constantly in wolf form, his pack spread wide across the forest boundaries. The Cullens reached out once more to allies, Denali, the Amazons, the Irish Coven, and even the nomads who had stood with them before. Some responded quickly, their loyalty to Carlyle unshaken. Others hesitated, weary of another confrontation with the ancient rulers. One night, Renesmee had a dream, vivid, almost like a vision. In it, she saw a shadowed hull lined with torches, Arrow's eyes glimmering red as he extended a pale hand toward her. She woke with a cry, Jacob rushing to her side, fur still clinging to his skin as he shifted back. Edward entered the room moments later, his expression grim. He had caught fragments of her dream in her mind. "It's not just fear," Edward sighed softly. "She saw something real. Arrow is planning to take her again." The family convened, their voices tense, their arguments sharp. Emmett wanted to fight head-on, to meet the Volturi wherever they appeared. Alice, however, could not see clearly, her visions blurred whenever Renesmee's future was involved, tangled with the unpredictable paths of hybrids and shapeshifters. Jasper warned that they needed strategy, not just strength. In the midst of it all, Renesmee's determination only grew. She trained with Edward, learning to control her unique abilities, projecting thoughts and memories with increasing precision. With Bella, she practiced shielding, stretching the invisible dome of protection not only over herself but over others. It was exhausting work, but she pushed herself harder than ever. Meanwhile, Jacob wrestled with his own turmoil. The imprint bound him, yet he struggled with the knowledge that Renesmee's choices would one day decide his entire future. Late at night, he would sit outside beneath the dripping pines, staring at the dark horizon, wondering whether he was her protector, her friend, or something far more dangerous to her freedom. The Volturi made their move sooner than expected. One mist-laden morning, a messenger appeared at the Cullen border, a vampire draped in black, his presence sending shivers through the wolves who watched from the shadows. He bore a scroll sealed with Arrow's crest. Carlyle broke it open carefully, reading the words aloud. "The Volturi request the presence of Renesmee Cullen in Volterra. They claim it is time for her to take her rightful place among their kind. Refusal will be considered a declaration of war." The silence that followed was suffocating. Bella's shield flared instinctively, her hands curling into fists. Edward's teeth clenched, his fury cold and sharp. "They won't stop until they have her," Carlyle said quietly. "We must decide whether to run, to hide, or to confront them again." But Renesmee stepped forward, her voice clear. I will not run. This is my life they're threatening. If I don't stand with you now, they'll never stop hunting me. The decision was made. Allies were summoned, plans laid. For days, the Cullen house became a gathering point, filled with the murmurs of vampires from across the world. Old faces returned. Garrett with his reckless grin, Safrina with her piercing eyes, Tanya and Kate from Denali, their loyalty fierce. Even the wolves gathered, their growls echoing in the night as they prepared to fight alongside their strange family once more. Before they left, Bella and Edward walked with Renesmee to the meadow, the same one where their love had begun years before. The flowers swayed in the damp breeze, the air thick with memory. You are our miracle, Bella whispered, her voice breaking. And I will protect you until my last breath, though I don't have one anymore. Renesmee touched her cheek gently, sending her mother a memory of their happiest moments together, the first time Bella held her, the warmth of family laughter, Jacob's unwavering presence. I know, Mom, but now I have to protect all of you, too. The journey to Volterra was heavy with tension. Alice's visions remained fractured, showing only glimpses of fire, stone, and shadows. When they arrived, the Volturi were waiting in the grand hall, cloaked and terrible, their red eyes glowing like embers in the torchlight. Arrow stepped forward, his smile both welcoming and predatory. Ah, the miraculous child, now grown, he said, extending his hand. Renesmee Cullen, you are destined for greatness. Come with us, and you will know true power. Renesmee lifted her chin, her shield humming around her. I belong to my family. I will never be yours. Arrow's smile faltered, and the air grew electric. Jane and Alex stepped forward, their deadly powers ready, but Bella's shield expanded, a dome of unbreakable will. The room erupted in chaos, wolves lunging, vampires clashing, stone cracking under immortal strength. The fight the Cullens had once avoided now raged in full. Renesmee fought fiercely, using her gift to disorient enemies, projecting memories of sunlight, warmth, and freedom into their minds. Jacob tore through cloaked guards with primal fury, never straying far from her side. Edward and Bella moved as one, their unity unshakable, their love a weapon as strong as any power. The battle stretched into the night, and for a moment it seemed the Volturi might finally fall. But Arrow was cunning, retreating into the shadows, calling for his guard to regroup. This is not the end. His voice echoed as the Volturi withdrew, leaving the hull in ruins. Exhausted but alive, the Cullens and their allies stood among the wreckage. They had not destroyed the Volturi, but they had shattered their illusion of absolute control. Renesmee had proven that she was not a child to be claimed, but a force to be reckoned with. As dawn broke over Volterra, painting the ancient stones with pale light, Renesmee turned to her family. They'll come again, she said softly. But when they do, we'll be ready. Because we are stronger together than they will ever be. Edward wrapped an arm around her shoulders, Bella's hand clasped in his. Jacob stood beside her, silent but steadfast. For the first time, Renesmee felt the full weight of her destiny, not as a prize to be taken, but as a leader who would stand with her family against any darkness that rose. And though the future was uncertain, the Cullens walked out of Volterra with unshaken resolve, their bonds unbreakable, their love eternal.